Welcome back to Hartford Hawks basketball with Jen Rizzotti. I'm John Holt. Time now for our player profile brought to us by Manchester Honda. It is the junior from Montville, Nikkia Smith, and as we've spoken about on previous shows, very impressive young lady, very mature, has a vision for her future.
She does, and she's had it since I recruited her. I remember coming out of high school, she was very determined to do the sign language, to be a great student athlete, and to really take advantage of her opportunity with getting a basketball scholarship and getting her education paid for. So she hasn't disappointed at all. She's been focused on her vision and focused on her future since she got here.
You can see for yourself now with our Manchester Honda player profile, Nikkia Smith.
The seeds for Nikkia Smith's dream upon graduating college were planted back in the 4th grade when she was first introduced to sign language.
I was in about 4th grade, and there was a younger student in the school who was deaf, and so they were beginning to teach her class a little bit of sign language, you know, just enough to kind of be able to communicate with her. And I had 2 other friends of mine who were twins actually, and they asked if they could be a part of the class and learn sign language as well. And I somehow just was able to jump right in and say, hey, can I learn too? And then I got kind of lucky after that, because in middle school my best friend was deaf, and so because she couldn't take another language, and she was actually a year older than me, they began teaching sign language to us at school. And so then from middle school through high school, I took it every single year as an actual credit class.
Nikkia's middle school friend, Lindsay Sturgio, would be her future teammate at Montville High School, with the pair developing a special means of communication.
I think it's helped me because she had great hearing aids and was able to hear to a certain extent. I mean, once she took her hearing aids out, she couldn't hear. So, you know, on the court, we had a lot of signs for her, and, you know, she did a lot of lip reading, but, you know, I would just scream so loudly, she could hear me most times. And I say, like, you know, my teammates tell me now that my voice just drowns out everyone else's. And I say, you know, for 4 to 5 years, I was playing with her and I was having to scream so that, you know what I mean, like, because my screaming was a regular octave for her.
Last summer, Nikkia combined her interest in sign language and her basketball expertise for a unique internship at the American School for the Deaf in West Hartford, running basketball clinics for the eager students at the school.
It was great for them to be able to have someone who was more experienced in the game, and, you know, really, and I went in there and I taught them a lot of the fundamentals, and, you know, seeing other players come in as well to help them. It was something, you know, they had never had before, and something that they would never forget. And, you know, seeing their satisfaction when they, you know, were able to complete a left-handed layup, or, you know, something as simple as that was just fantastic.
This fall, Nikkia followed up her internship with field work at the Annie Fisher Magnet School in Hartford's North End. A rewarding yet eye-opening experience for this future teacher.
It's definitely difficult because you have such an array of students, and you need to find a way to get to each one of them. So something that you may teach to one student may not work for everyone in the classroom. So it's being able to get the attention of everyone, but focusing one-on-one individually on what each student needs. And it's hard when you have a classroom with 20 some odd students, and you might be the only teacher, or, you know, you've got kids in pull-out programs, so they're in and out of the classroom, and you want to make sure they're getting the same material as everyone else, and they're not at a disadvantage. So it's definitely a challenge today, but, you know, one that I definitely look forward to dealing with.
5 years from now, Nikkia sees herself still working out, still playing basketball, and with a classroom of her own, working with students with disabilities, while applying lessons she's learned from her basketball coaches.
I would definitely say patience. You know, when things aren't going your way on the basketball court, you have to overcome adversity and find a way. And I think that definitely happens within the classroom, both from, you know, a teaching perspective and from a student perspective. You know, there's always going to be times when you don't understand something that your student might be doing, but you have to just find a way of going around your own, stepping outside of your own comfort zone to be able to help them. And I think that definitely happens on the basketball court as well. You know, there are games when, you know, your shot's not falling, so you need to find a way to still help the team. And I think that same thing applies in the classroom.
Academics continue to be of paramount importance to Coach Rizzotti in the program. When we come back, our Coca-Cola top scholar, it's sophomore Taylor Clark. Also ahead, the coach's first tip of the season, and you will meet the freshmen. That and more on Hartford Hawks basketball with Coach Jen Rizzotti next on CPTV Sports.